What's going on, y'all? I want to share something with y'all today. So I was on this flight and I was listening to this podcast, a Louis Simmons podcast, and he was talking about this weightlifter by the name of Vasily Alexov. I'm butchering the name, I know, but we'll call him Alex. Vasily Alex. Got to talking about this weightlifter that was doing Olympic lifts on a barbell for 2 to 3 minutes at a time, and he said he built tremendous amounts of muscle.
For up to as many as 6 minutes. Years ago, the great Olympic weightlifter Alexis, now this man broke 80 world records, more than anyone ever. He did Olympic lifts for 1 to 3 minutes in a total set. He said this built tremendous muscle mass on him, which caused him to go from basically nowhere to the greatest weightlifter of all time. He actually gained 70 kilos or 154 pounds from the beginning of doing this until later in his career.
So I got to looking at this guy, Alexa, and man, this guy is huge. Now listen, I know he's a super heavyweight. He's got a tremendous amount of body fat as well, but I mean, this guy is, you can still see his delts, his upper back and traps just popping right through all that fat, you know what I mean? Doing these lifts for an extended period of time without letting go of the barbell. So you got to think of the time under tension there. That's what caught my eye. So I got to looking more into it, and I found an article from Elite FTS. This article was talking about Alexa just giving a lot of his strategies, his mindset. Part here I'm gonna read to y'all. Usually athletes lift barbells and then immediately drop them. This takes several seconds. According to Alexa's method, the sportsman finds himself under the weight for a period of 2 to 3 minutes. The entire body must sustain prolonged effort as the athlete completes several consecutive exercises without letting go of the equipment. The weight of the barbell is relatively light, but the varied work with its affects every muscle cell. By the end of the 2-week session, Alexa's students had increased their body weight as a result of muscle growth and at the same time increased their abilities. So they got stronger and bigger. Wow, I find this incredibly intriguing because this is nothing but like a barbell complex you might see a CrossFitter do various different exercises. And I got to thinking, usually you see these CrossFitters and they, with all due respect, a lot of them are chicken necks. They're really not that impressive. But you got to wonder how they're programming this stuff. I know CrossFitters, a lot of times they do these workouts for time. They're trying to beat a time. A lot of times they're using the same weights. I wonder if you program this right and progressively overload the movement, I don't see why you can't build muscle from this. So I got to looking more into it, and there's a guy by the name of Istvan Javorek. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but he preaches these complexes, these barbell complexes, dumbbells as well. And he did a 3-year experiment on athletes using these complexes. And see here, I'm gonna read this to y'all. One of the athletes from the experimental group was Dragomir Cyrilosin at the Olympic Training Center in Colorado Springs, who from the beginning of his career practiced these complexes. He showed an incredible rhythm and improvement from a beginning body weight of 37 kilograms in August of 1969 to 63 kilograms in the spring and 65 kilograms in the autumn of 1972. So this guy put on almost 30 kilograms of muscle. That's, well, in 3 years, I mean, it's probably not all muscle, obviously, but you get what I'm saying. He put on a tremendous amount of mass doing this. I'm going to incorporate these methods into my training. I believe you could use this as assistance work. You could do this maybe at the end of a workout on a lower body or upper body session. I imagine just holding a barbell for 2 to 3 minutes doing these exercises. I imagine the time under tension on your traps, upper back, shoulders, your forearms. I know this will blow up your forearms. Yeah, I'm gonna be incorporating this. I don't see why you couldn't do this on days off either. On a rest day, 3 to 5 sets. Probably wouldn't take you long. I just wanted to share that with y'all because as a natural lifter, you need to really think outside the box. You see what everybody else is doing. Usually that's not what you want to be doing. So, something to think about, y'all.